Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So we are at the 8th house now for Saturn. So Saturn and the 8th, and what are the 5 amazing things? Now Saturn is the graha of, as I keep saying, it's the graha of acceptance, it's the graha of giving us wisdom. It's about clarity in life. The 8th house is the end of our soul's maturity. 9, 10, 11, 12 is the house where it sustains the maturity, which means that it takes the houses 5, 6, 7, the experience that we have gained in the 5th and the 6th and the 7th would then be converted into a lesson-based experience, right? What it means is that we get comfortable about life, we start to get to know things, we start to understand, okay, so if I need to have something, I need to sacrifice something else. And then we understand another person's soul, we get into relationship and things like that. But the 8th is where it takes to the next level, okay, where the soul will be truly matured. Okay, we are not ready for it, which is why it's the house of unexpectedness, right? The things which are that we are least expecting, or things which we are not ready, things which will give us denial in life. That's what the 8th house is all about. It is the highest, or the zenith of maturity for our soul, okay, which is why it is also the most fearful house as well. The 8th is one of the dushtanas, the 6, 8, 12, but the 8th is the most fearful one. So the 8th is accumulative of all the experience that you gain in the 5th, in the 6th, and the 7th, and it comes out with a lesson-based experience, okay, so that we will truly understand. Okay, say if you want to be an aspiring musician like myself, and the 5th is where you actually discover music, 6 is where you put a lot of effort and all that, 7th is where you get into a relationship with your better half, and then through that you also would like to improve your musical skill. And how do you strike the balance between marriage and family and all that, and your musical career? It's just an example, how a person really pushes oneself to get whatever he or she wants. Now comes the 8th house, and the 8th house says, okay, it looks like this guy is really into music and all that, really he wants to do something, but then let's throw something at him. Let's give him a hard punch, and to see whether he can take it, whether he can come back or not. That's what the 8th house is all about. So probably you might say, okay, one day let's do something. Let's give him an accident or something. All right, so let's make sure that he loses his finger or something. So I lose my finger, and there goes, I can't play any musical instrument. Is that the end, or do I do something about it, or do I give up? And all that is about the 8th house. It gives you the next level of problems which you don't really think about, or problems which you are not prepared. Which is why the 8th is also called Ayur Mrityu Bhava, house of birth and death, right? So again, it's the cumulative experiences from the 5th, 6th, and 7th to take your soul's maturity to the next level. That's what the 8th is. It's a pretty scary house. But what happens when you have a good, dignified Saturn sitting in the 8th house? What are the 5 amazing things you'll have? Number 1 is, remember the phrase I said earlier, Brahman Satyam Jagan Mityam, which means the world is, the Brahman is real, right? The Supreme Being is real, but the world is unreal. Basically what he's trying to say is, of course the connotations can be deep because it's a spiritual phrase, but then to put it in simple words, that the acceptance of impermanence, okay, right? Everything that we see is changing, a constant changing, a flux, right? So when you embrace impermanence, right, the problem may not be seen as a problem at all, right? It be seen as a thing which is happening at that particular moment, and that phase will also change. It's a constant change. So Saturn in the 8th, a well dignified Saturn in the 8th, will have that that thought process, that it's all about impermanence. Nothing is fixed. So you can imagine such a person would be seamless in life, because there's no good problems, or there's no there's no bad problems, there's no good things, there's no such thing. It's just an event which will, which will eventually change, right? So there's really nothing to either to be happy about or to be really sad about. Impermanence is going on. That's number one. Number two is highly methodical. When the problem happens, they'll look straight at, okay, what's the worst thing that can happen? Okay, they'll go to the end result. Okay, so this is what will happen at the end result, and they'll backtrack. Okay, so what do I do for me not to reach to that point? It looks like that is the end point. That is the worst thing that can happen. So they will do strategy, they'll do planning, they will do mitigation of the problem, resiliency, and things like that. People with high methodological views in life, right? Number three is that these people, they do not, how can I say this? So these people, they do not have much of a feeling related problems. Like a lot of people, when someone else comes and says something to you, let's say you're trying to do something, right? You're trying to do something, and you're sort of expecting someone else to say something good about it. Say you're doing a science project, for example, you're creating something, right? And you're at the end of the project, you're so excited, you want to show it to your friend, and your expectation is so high, right? But here comes your friend and says that this is a lousy project, you just wasted your time. And how would you take it, right? Would you take it really deep? Would you become, your expectation is all crushed? Would you feel very down? Or you'll say that, okay, that's his point of view or her point of view. There's nothing much I can do. It's based on his or her experiences, right? But thank you for saying it. But and you carry on, right? So that kind of it's not indifference, right? But it is the self-confidence that they have within themselves, and they do not really care much about what people think. And I think that's a good quality as well, because if this is not ego, it's not pride, but it is your, the way that you see things, right? The way that you see things that keeps you moving, right? And that's third. Number four is there's no such thing as no excuse, right? And these people will be like, if I face a problem, I'm going to fix the problem right away. There's no tomorrow. There's no later. There's no reason for me to be fearful. There's no reason for me to be angry. A problem happened, right? How do I fix it? And how fast I fix it? So it's always now. There's no excuses, no putting things at a later stage, no procrastination, nothing like that. The problem happens, they'll fix it then and there. They're very resourceful. They don't wait for anyone. They'll just keep going. They'll get it done. You can imagine it's like a strong Mercury and Mars put together. It's like that. Okay. The last, certainly not the least, is their ability to adapt into situation. Not just their mind. Okay, when a problem happens, it's not that they can sort of tune their mind to say, okay, I need to fix this. This problem has happened. I need to be, I cannot back out from this. I need to find a way to solve this. I cannot run and hide. Not only that, the entire personality changes. For most of us, it's just an internal thing, right? But our external personality would be the same. Our behavior would be the same. Not for these people. It's kind of weird when you look at these people. They just change into someone else. It's like another person there, right? Because they give 150% to solve a problem. So they become highly adaptable. They don't mind even changing to another personality, as long as if that personality, if that behavior is conducive to solve the problem, then they will change. So very agile, very flexible mind. Yep. So those are the 5 amazing things for Saturn the 5th. Saturn the 8th, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you find this informative, please share it with your friends. So that's it, guys. Take care. I'll see you on the 9th. Namaste.